Hello, and welcome to our virtual annual discipline meeting for the 2024-2025 school year. I am Dane Lamont, the School Partnership Specialist for Penn Highlands Dual Enrollment Program. During our fall 2024 semester, we plan to have our in-person ACE discipline meeting at the Penn Highlands Richland campus. Unfortunately, poor weather conditions forced us to cancel the event this year. However, our college liaisons were still able to hold recorded Zoom sessions to discuss specific topics related to the disciplines you teach. Please enjoy this recording of your annual discipline-specific activity, and we hope you can join us in person next year. Thank you for making this program possible for your school and your students.
Okay, so we are recording, and this is the healthcare meeting for dual enrollment tonight. And I'm going to share my screen to put up the agenda. It's a short agenda that we have. Can you see that okay?
Yep.
Okay. And I'll do a little welcome because some people might not be familiar with me. I am stepping in this whole year, this whole academic year, to help in observe the healthcare. I'm the division chair for the biological, physical, and health sciences at Penn Highlands. So under my division, we have medical assisting technology and medical coding. So the classes that you probably teach at your tech centers would fall under that, which is medical terminology, and then sometimes the life LAF 111, which is our safety and nutrition course, or health and nutrition course, that is sometimes under that one that they're able to do. And then basic A&P is the other one. So those are kind of the classes underneath there. In the past, Laura Gaunt has been the person maybe who you've seen, or Mandy Persinski. Mandy did leave because she's finishing to be APA.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah, so it was really hard. Like she couldn't do the hours required in rotations and keep this. So but that's was always her main goal. So we're really happy for her that she was able to do that. So that's kind of why I'm stepping in for this academic year to help with it. But just so everybody does know that I work with our healthcare people all the time. So I am familiar with the courses if I do come out and see you. That's there for it. So first question is, are there any questions on the course syllabus? Did you get a course syllabus for the courses you're teaching? Do you need course syllabi?
Like supplied by Penn Highlands or from the one that I created?
Supplied by Penn Highlands.
I got one last year. If it changed at all, no, but I have one from last year.
Okay. Yeah, we can definitely get you access. And you're doing the basic A&P?
I'm doing medical terminology. I didn't have anyone doing basic A&P.
Okay.
We'll offer that one next year because that's when next year in our rotation is when we hit basic A&P harder.
Okay. I don't think there's any changes to medical coding, but I will make sure to check to see if there was and let you know.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll get the syllabi to you. One of the other things that I've learned in the past year is I actually went to be a NACEP reviewer. So I'm currently reviewing another college in New York for NACEP accreditation that's there. And I've learned a lot because our program is nationally accredited through NACEP. And this was a great way to learn kind of the ins and outs. One of the things that I had seen was when we go up for reaccreditation, when they pull the high school syllabi, one of the requirements is they like to see somewhere on the high school syllabi what the college class is it's equivalent to.
Okay.
So we had some math syllabi that we were reviewing. And it was like down in the footer, and it said this course is also equivalent to, MAT 165 and the college.
Oh,
So like next year when you do your course syllabi, you could throw in somewhere this course is also equivalent to Penn Highlands, MAT,
basic. Yeah.
yep,
Yeah.
uh,
Gotcha.
H,
Whatever the,
sorry, HSC
yeah.
course. So
So do
yeah,
you need copies of like my course syllabus? Do I need to?
only on years when you have a visit.
Okay.
That's the only time that we'd really look at that. And the one thing I'm not sure on is the visit schedule for spring yet.
Okay.
I think Kaylee said there was going to be 1 or 2 people to visit in the spring, but I haven't seen that yet.
Okay. Yeah, Mandy just came last year, so I don't know how often you guys come, but
Every 3 years. So
oh, then
so
probably
you're probably good.
okay.
So the next time you get visited, it could be me, it could be Laura. Yeah, we'll see who it might be. But as far as I know, we're both looking to be here at least for the next 5 years
Oh,
with
nice.
it. So yeah.
Great.
I've been with the college for 12 years.
Oh,
So
nice.
I've been here since 2012.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, it's been nice. I like it here.
Yeah, I brought my students up to tour the Altoona campus in the mall.
Yeah.
It's just it's just really nice in there.
Mm-hmm.
I want to take
Yeah.
them to the Richland campus because I didn't realize that's where most of the healthcare programs were.
Yes.
So maybe we'll try to do that in the spring after winter.
And Somerset, we are moving the MAT
Mm.
program to Somerset
Oh,
too.
okay.
It's going to start in the fall.
Gotcha.
So I don't know if that would even be closer for some of your students or
Yeah, depending on what school district they're from,
Mhm.
maybe.
We have a lot of students from Bedford come up to Richmond for the education program. I have
Oh,
some
okay.
students from Chestnut Ridge, that school district who have come up. I've had some from Bedford who have come up into our education program. So I do
Nice.
know we've been getting more um,
Yeah.
from that area down there. So that's been good.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Good.
That's been fun. Yeah. So I just wanted to bring um, that up. And again, as far as on the syllabus it says about assessment, the way we do our assessment, and you might talk to another person in the tech center, and they might say, oh, well, they make me turn an assessment every year. It really goes by department, what they want to do, and we only make you do the common assessment on the year you're visited. So
Oh, okay. So
you
just
might,
those like few questions that they had to include in the final or
yep, that's it.
okay.
So you don't
Gotcha.
really get that every 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah, like our math department, and their math people, they send out their assessment question to every single person who does dual enrollment for every school, whether they get a visit or not,
No,
and have them put the question on something during
final
the
or
year
something.
and get all
Okay.
that feedback back. But the reason we don't do it is, again, you said you have one.
Yeah.
Okay. The sample size is so small.
Yeah.
And even like our MAT program, it caps out at 8
Oh,
that's
yeah.
there. So again, we're working with much smaller numbers than the math, and we'll always work with smaller numbers,
Yeah.
than how many people are taking the math courses. So it's
Gotcha.
just a little bit easier
Okay.
to do that way. So yeah, so you don't really have to worry about that until your next visit.
Okay.
Yeah. The other thing is, two, if you'd ever want anybody to come down from the healthcare department and talk about any of the programs, we have at Somerset now and also in Richland, feel free to reach out and, let me know. And
Okay.
we could see if we could come down. We've done that with the Somerset County CTC. We've gone in there and talked to their education classes also
Gotcha.
for it. So and it's definitely opened some eyes to some students that didn't realize, like, oh, okay. Because as you said, a lot of them automatically go Allegheny College of Maryland,
Mm-hmm.
that's down
Yeah.
there. And
Right.
they haven't looked at other prices and their parents, they're just not well versed in it. So
Right. Yeah.
it kind of gives them a little bit of another option that's there for
Yeah,
us.
I'm trying to think. We have like a college and career fair for health specific programs in January. I can't remember if you guys usually come to that one or not, but I can let our guidance counselor know to include you if he hasn't already.
Yeah, that would be really great. And it would be really great too if so we might come, but it might be like our admissions people.
Oh,
Which
okay.
there's nothing wrong with that. But it'd be great if you actually got like a Laura
Health
or a me to
specific.
come
Yeah.
down and be able to really speak to the classes and speak to it. Because admissions, they're there kind of like for all the programs,
Right.
but we could talk specifically to it and also show pathways into other schools. One of the
Yeah.
biggest things is,
You
you
guys do
know,
Connemara, right? What with
yeah.
Yeah.
And then also like a lot of students, sometimes they're going to be a nurse and then they get into nursing and they're like, oh, this isn't for me.
Yeah.
MAT is a great, program to kind of go back. You still want to do that service, but the whole nursing thing just doesn't fit, right?
Yeah. I've been pushing so many that direction because yeah, sometimes you can just tell like nursing school is not going to, you're not going to find great success there.
hmm Yeah, after
Um,
you teach a while, you can
I
know
know.
your
Yeah, it's
students
yeah,
and
that
you're
was the
like,
hard thing to wow.
we want to promote trying your best and doing everything you can, but there's a reality of it that says you're
I
going to hit
also
your
don't want
call.
you to waste $20,000.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
right, exactly, absolutely.
Ugh.
So yeah, so let us know about that.
Yeah,
What
will
would
do. I'll
be-
check with our guidance counselor and if he says yes, I'll ask him who he talked to and then I can let you know if you guys want to tag along or something.
Yeah, especially in January. We don't start back till January 21st,
Oh,
which
okay.
is the end of January. So,
Yeah. I think it's like the 12th or something like that. It's the week of the
oh yeah, so that might be honestly really easy to come to.
Okay. Awesome. I'm gonna send that email as soon as we're done here.
Cool. And one of the other things, is this your first meeting too for the annual discipline meeting?
Yeah, I had just like watched it after the fact last year.
Okay. And normally, so we would have had you come to campus, invited you up to dinner and everything. Well,
Yeah.
that actually got canceled last Thursday, because of the weather.
Oh.
Because a lot of the schools
Uh,
um, canceled school and everything. And so we ended up doing them all virtual. But the reason that this one was sent out virtual earlier too is right now I'm doing healthcare, I'm doing education, and I'm doing science.
oh yeah, you
So
know what?
yeah, so it's the last thing we do is we always have like a discussion. As you can see, it says like artificial intelligence usage in the medical field. Well, if we would have had everybody who I'm the ACE liaison for this year come together, a lot of you wouldn't have found it relevant.
Makes
So
sense.
that's why Kaylee's like, let's just split you and do science as one, education as one, and that. And I said it's probably better because that way you're talking. I mean, sadly, we don't have anybody else for you to talk to because a
Yeah.
lot of times they're really useful to see what other schools, because I've done the education,
Yeah.
I've done the science, and then the teachers talk about what they're doing in the schools. And it's a nice collaborative because a lot of times you don't get to collaborate with
Right. Not in
other people.
CTE.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
So it was because our two CTC people in education got to talk to some of the high school teachers. And
Uh,
that was a good interaction, that was with it and seeing the differences. So, because honestly, normally I don't talk that much in these meetings.
yeah.
Usually the teachers talk a lot more with it, but you're stuck with me
It's all
for
good.
it. Yeah. So, and I didn't know we can just have a little discussion on it. What is the AI? Do you have an AI policy at the tech center? And do you use it in anything that you have with your students?
Um, so like the sending schools, most of them have it blocked, like Chat GPT and all that.
Mhm.
Like it's just blocked on their computers. So they are not, the students are surprisingly like not very familiar with it. I've been using it a ton just to like make assessments and case studies. Made it for like we're doing defense mechanisms, so I had to make case studies about defense mechanisms today. Oh, studying for like their NOCTI Skills USA. I just have it like you give it the topic and it just
Mhm.
generates like, study guides, vocabulary lists. So I've been using it a lot, which has been
Yeah.
nice, but
And it is funny because that was, so having done the other two, so I've probably met with, I'd say 30 teachers
Mhm.
over the past week,
Yeah.
various school districts. So Huntington up north, Southern Huntington, um, ones here in Cambria County, Bedford County, and you're here down tonight. And it has been funny is that has been a consensus that most of the kids are not as familiar or good as it that we think they are.
No, yeah, they're really not, because 'cause we're
Yeah.
blocking them from it, which I sorta get like, if I were an English teacher, I would feel differently, but for me, it's like, it's such a neat tool for them to help them study different ways, like song generators, make me a song
Mhm.
about blood flow through the heart, like, there's some really cool stuff that they can't access. I mean, if
Mhm.
I always tell them just, like, use your phone or something, like, make your own account on your personal device because there's such neat tools there,
Yeah. Yeah,
but we
and it's funny that at our level then, it's, what we're going through is, like, there's this fear of some of the teachers that we're gonna be getting all these kids who are doing nothing but cheating and doing this,
yeah.
and those of us who are ACE liaisons, I told their faculty member, I'm like, "It's not what you think." Like, I know you're hearing from, like, administration, IT that, "Oh my gosh, this is gonna, do this and do that." But I said, "I've been in a lot of high schools, and I've talked to a lot of teachers. It's not at the level you think it is at for
Yeah,
these kids." And
yeah.
then I know a lot of times, we've done some experiments with our students at the college level using Chat GPT for some different things and different creating, and not so much in healthcare. So I don't know if Laura is doing anything with it, but in science and in education, the feedback from the classes have been it's not helpful in these areas because of what you have to do for like lab reports,
Wow,
and it can't generate what you did. Like if it
exactly what you need, yeah.
right, like
Yeah,
it can't, and then they're redoing it again, and they're saying it's too much wasted time.
yeah,
Because if you tell it to write the lab steps of a photosynthesis lab, it doesn't really know everything you did.
yeah,
So then they're getting it wrong. And then in education, we had them write lesson plans. And the
yeah,
comment was really interesting because they said it had no humanity to it. It
yeah,
was so cold that they said it was very hard to see where the connection was with the students because, like, we make them show how they're connecting with the auditory learner, with the kinesthetic learner when we have them write lesson plans. And they found the Chat GPT couldn't customize it like that to show
huh,
it enough. And they ended up rewriting the lesson plan.
yeah.
So a lot of them,
Well, that kind of, like, bumps up critical thinking then to be able to then analyze. You know what I mean?
yeah. Yeah, like, that's what I was kinda happy about in that aspect,
Yeah,
that, it did, but we gave them a tool and we said, "Go ahead, use it, see what you can do." It's
yeah,
and it was
yeah,
good, it was a good learning experiment for them, and
yeah,
a lot of
that's
us are
awesome.
gonna continue incorporating little pieces
Yeah,
and
I mean, it's
see
not
what
going
is it
away.
like generating vocabulary stuff. Great.
Yeah,
I had one girl who told me she used it almost exactly like that. Like she said, give me all the vocabulary words you would need to know for genetics.
yeah.
And then, it was, which is great. Like that's a good use of the tool, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Man, the quiz questions have been from a teacher standpoint so nice. And I mean, you vet them and all that, but like for the most part, it's spot on. Like
Mhm.
give me 10 questions about like we're learning about Maslow and Erickson. Give me 10 questions about Maslow and Erickson. And it's like, boom, exactly what I need.
Yeah. Yeah, and it is, like, it can be a time saver in some ways, not in others, and I think that's the whole thing is just using this IA in the appropriate manner, just like
Yeah.
any other tool,
Yeah.
It's
Right.
gonna be good for this and not good for that, it's not gonna solve everybody's problem,
Yeah.
um, for it, but I think that's the major thing with the students if we, kinda show
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. I mean, that's our job, right? Teach them to use it responsibly and
Yep,
by just, like, having them avoid it their whole life, what good's that gonna do 'em?
right, and a lot of the high school teachers said they're just not interested.
Yeah.
Because they're so busy with their Snapchat
Snapchat.
and yep, and, TikTok, and they're
They're
like, "I
entertained
don't."
already.
Right. They're like, I don't really want to do this. So, okay, whatever.
Funny, I know. Yeah, because it's so easy to use, but yeah, I agree with that. Like I sometimes type it and like show them what it does, and I'm way more amazed than they are with it. So
Yeah, they're hard to really get a reaction out of sometimes. They're like,
gosh, I took
okay.
them to an open heart surgery and a few of them fell asleep.
Really?
I'm not kidding you. I'm like, what's going on? How are we ever going to motivate these students again?
Oh, that's crazy. Like yeah.
It's way different. And it's been the past few years. I've been teaching for 8 years and it's a noticeable difference. I don't know what's going on, but it really is hard to keep them engaged.
Yeah.
Get real
I mean,
creative.
do you think it's still part of the COVID stuff
I
that we're getting through?
don't really seem to be the change, but I don't know. I don't know. Do you see like how is it at the college level? Is it
Um, Honestly, I've seen over the past year a more positive change
okay,
from
good.
where it was. Like I've been a little bit happier. Um, here's the thing though, I've seen it gone. So when I first started in 2012, I'd come into a class, everyone was like notebook, paper, pencil, taking notes, everything like that.
Yeah.
Then we kind of like maneuvered, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh, no paper, no pencil. Everybody has these laptops.
Yeah.
And, they're doing this in the online stuff. And then COVID happened and it was crazy. Well, now so I teach a section of Johnstown High School kids who get bused to Penn Highlands. So my
Oh,
one class, it's like 14 of them. And then I have about 20 like regular students.
adult student, yeah.
Yeah. And
Gotcha.
it's really funny because they're like, I see very little laptops anymore. I
Huh,
hardly
yeah.
have any
The
kids
back
who
to
come in,
paper.
they have their notebooks, they sit there and take notes.
Yeah.
And I lecture and they take notes once again. And they even ask me stuff like, are we going to have this test on paper? And I'm like, yep, it's a
Uh,
face-to-face class, so we're gonna have the test on paper. And
yeah.
that's been a real change
Yeah. I wonder if they
for it
kind of
because
got
there was
burned
a
out
lot of
from all
people
the
that did it.
virtual. They were just as sick of it as the next guy.
Yeah, yeah. So I think that's one of the biggest things that I've noticed
Huh.
with it. The work ethic, it's it's improving a little bit. I mean, we were getting a lot of the entitlement.
Yeah.
Well, can
Yeah,
I
they
still
just got
turn
to
that in?
pass. Yeah.
I'm like, no, that was a deadline. Well, can I get half credit for it? No, it's in my syllabus that if you don't turn it in, it's a zero.
Yeah.
And they were just used to kind of being given that ability to have those crutches all the time. And
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot less of that now.
Yeah.
Like they're
Maybe.
not asking, they're just taking the consequences for it, which is a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Gotta learn somehow.
Right? Because like I
That's
tell them, like, at work, people aren't gonna say, oh, you're only 15 minutes late. Sure, just, like, it doesn't work that way,
yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's been better, but yeah,
Good.
it was rough, but
Yeah.
I'm seeing
Yeah.
little things change, and, like, other faculty have said that too. It's like, "Okay, we're seeing, like, the corner maybe
Yeah.
going
Yeah, I'm
back."
thinking of it now. The ones that are like a little less motivated are my seniors, I guess. And there's just so many factors you could say, well,
Mhm.
maybe it's because it's their senior year now, or maybe it's because that's like this is the end of that, and now we're gonna jump back into like pre-COVID
Right.
mentality. Who know? I don't know, but
Yeah.
it's been interesting to watch, that's for sure.
Mhm. And I say that's why I go to work every day, because
Yeah.
it is interesting.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, because you think you've heard everything and seen everything, and then, nope, it's something new comes up, you're like, "Huh, that's a good one. Haven't seen that one
Yeah.
yet."
Yep. Oh
Yeah.
man.
So, do you have any other questions? Or, I
No.
mean, it's just you and I, so if we would've had
Yeah.
more people, we probably would've went the whole hour, but,
It's all good.
half hour's good, it is what it is, so
Yeah. So
is there
since it's
anything?
not my observation year, really the only thing I need to do from here on out is submit grades at the end of the year.
Correct.
Okay, I can do that.
Yep, that's it. And if you have any problems or questions, don't hesitate to reach out.
Yeah.
You have my contact information. If anything comes up with just any questions, that's what I'm here for. Because we want to make sure all the dual enrollment teachers know they always have that reach back person and they're not alone out there with our, material and stuff.
Gotcha. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah. it was nice to meet you too, and maybe in 2 years I'll get down to see you
Yeah.
on there.
Yeah,
So
sounds good. All right.
yeah.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
You too.
Bye.